what's up with you? For today's video, with a full Poison Touch ability team. These are going to be an entire team of Pokemon with the ability Poison Touch. Now, Poison Touch has a 30% chance of activating on contact moves. So I tried to pick some moves that would be obviously physical attacking moves and include some of the few special attacking moves that could activate the Poison Touch ability. This battle was pretty interesting with this team, or all these teams, because they were countered very, very easily. First battle here, this one was on the Poké Portal, and we have a Articuno lead. I'm not really sure who my opponent's trainer name is. Maybe someone can translate that for me in the comment section. So first we got Sneasler. We got a special Sneasler set. Now what I was aiming to do with this team, I was really trying to make it so I wouldn't have any advantages of getting a poison. For example, teaching a Pokemon Poison Jab. I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to solely be activated by Poison Touch. So I thought the only way I can really do that with some of these physical attacking Pokemon was to use something like maybe Fake Out to try and get the poison to activate, and then go for like a special set with Venoshock. And it was pretty difficult, but it was pretty fun to use. So Articuno obviously is a fairly bulky Pokemon, and Sneasler Hisuian is, well, it's got a trash special attack. It's got base 40 special attack. So I feel like that was a pretty good effort. That was max special attack and max speed, modest nature, Jet Button as the item 2, and we had Focus, Miss, Grass Knot, and Venoshock. Next Pokemon here is going to be Grafire, and this Pokemon has the ability Poison Touch, and I know this surprises you. So I'm going to be going for a Venoshock here. This also is a special set. So I've got Copycat, Venoshock, Fury Swipes with loaded dice, so I could make sure I definitely got or gave myself a very high chance for a poison, and also had low sweep too, so I was able to do something to steel type Pokemon. So we've got a nice little Hackmon here. We're going to get that Poison Touch on the Iron Hands. I know that I'm probably not going to be able to do a lot of damage to this, and there's possible chance that I could get one-shotted here. So I got a little bit of damage here with the Fury Swipes, and the Terror for this one was actually Terror Electric. Now, I want to tell you a funny story here. Electro Drift from Miraidon is actually a contacting move, right? So I tried to do Copycat Electro Drift when I seen Miraidons. I managed to get it in like one battle, but the battle was like really, really lame and boring. But it was a pretty funny moment I actually got to do. So I might do that in a short or something like that. So anyway, Iron Hands are going to take out my Grafire there, which is fine. I didn't really expect it to do too much. It was a pretty good effort. The EVs for that were Max Speed and Max Special Attack, Naive Nature. Also, people, if you enjoyed these videos, if you like the theme teams, you want to support the channel, make sure you drop a like on today's video. Next Pokemon is going to be Toxicroak. Now, Toxicroak is a mix set as well, so as you can see, I've got Fake Out on a lot of them. Fake Out was a great way to get the ability activated and then go for Venoshock afterwards. With Poison Touch, it's 30%, so it happened a fair amount of time, but not too much. So this Pokemon actually has decent special attack, so this is definitely the best Venoshock user on my team. So I've got Venoshock, Fake Out, Nasty Plot, and Astonish. So I thought maybe I could get around like with a couple of flinches, like Fake Out, then Astonish, in case it didn't activate. So out comes Kyogre. This Pokemon is very dangerous. Obviously, this is like a super sweaty team. And here comes a Water Spout in the rain. The only Pokemon that I had to withstand that was my Dragalge, and it still did over half my health. So I've got Dragon Tail, Rest, Sleep Talk, Liquidation set. Here comes another Water Spout. That's the end of Dragalge. Nothing I could have done there. Super, super powerful Pokemon. That was a max health and max defensive set as with Impish Nature too. So I was more defensive. I'm going to bring in Toxicroak now. I'm going to try and get a poison with Fake Out. I've got Focus Sash as my item here too, so I've got a couple of bites of the cherry. We're going to be going for a Fake Out, trying to get that poison to activate. It didn't activate, so I'm like, well, I have to swap out, right, because at least with that I can live 2 attacks. So now I'm going to go into Muck Alola, and it's going to go for a Water Spout here. Muck is just going to live that, only just, and unfortunately it's going to get outspared the next turn. So this Muck Alola was a Shadow Sneak, Hex, Curse, Minimize set, Terra Ghost, Bright Powder as the item, max health and max special attack, Quiet Nature. I managed to get a Poison Touch off there against the Kyogre, thank goodness. And they went for Origin Pulse, like, oh, it's not Scar. So it missed the Origin Pulse, which was pretty funny. And the rain's got to stop, which is good. I was trying to stall that rain out. So a little bit of damage here on Kyogre at least, you know, at least I'm getting something. Go for another Shadow Sneak here. I know that it's not doing a lot of damage, but I need everything I can. Origin Pulse is going to miss again. Bright Powder is coming in clutch here. Plus Origin Pulse isn't 100% actually either. So I'm hoping for as many misses here as possible. So I got 2 in a row. I was pretty happy with that. I got another Shadow Sneak off here. And of course, the third one is going to land this time. So that is going to be the end of Muck. But Muck has bought me the time here with the poison damage and Shadow Sneak damage to be able to take out this Kyogre with my Toxicroak. So I'm going to bring that one. And now that I know it's not Choice Scarf, I'm good to go. So I can go for the fake out here, a little bit of extra damage, of course, and then the toxic damage will do a bit more, and then I can finish it off with virtually any attack. Since I was using a scumbag sweaty team, for a disrespect, Astonish there, and I took a Kyogre out with Astonish in a children's game of Pokemon, people. I mean, you can't say that one too often. All right, next Pokemon, we got Rayquaza. They just keep coming, people. And Rayquaza is going to be difficult as well. This team was really, really weak to ground as well. And this Rayquaza did have a ground-type move. So I got a Poison Touch there on Astonish, which is pretty astonishing. And here comes a Dragon Ascent. I'm like, that's actually pretty good, because that's going to drop Rayquaza's defenses, which is going to obviously allow me to hit it a bit harder. So I've got the Focus Sash kicking in, which is very, very good. Defensive drop there and special defensive drop. Now I can go for Venoshock. The Rayquaza has a Shell Bell too, so I'm like, that kind of sucks, because I don't know whether this is going to feint if it's going to be very close. So I'm going to go for Venoshock. Oh, that was so close. And unfortunately, my Toxicroak is going to fake there. I would have loved to be able to use that again with another fake-out Venoshock combination, but that's going to be the end of my Toxicroak, and I've got one more Pokemon left. Rayquaza is going to hang on by a slither of health there, thanks to the Shell Bear recovery that I got earlier on. So my last Pokemon is going to be Muck. This normal Muck has got Shadow Sneak as well, which thank goodness I wouldn't be able to do too much. We got Curse, Meatlook, and Shadow Sneak, and Terra Fighting. So this is sort of meant to trap a Pokemon and set Curses up and go for a couple of Shadow Sneaks after it got some boost there. Now, this Muck had a Terra-type Fighting and Citrus Berry as the item. So that's the end of Rayquaza. Next Pokemon is another scumbag hack Pokemon. And I was worried here. I was like, well, if this is like a Dragon Energy set, I might be able to weaken the damage, because this Muck is very special defensive. So it's max health and max special defense, careful nature. And I'm thinking, I'm hoping it's that, because if it is, I've got a good chance of taking it out. Their last Pokemon could not come in either. It was a Pokemon Muck was very, very strong against. So I got my Poison Touch first go, which was very, very good. I'm like, please use Dragon Energy. Please use Dragon Energy. And it uses Dragon Claw. I'm like, damn. Unfortunately, I'm running a special defensive set, so they were able to hit me a lot harder there than I anticipated. So the Citrus Berry is going to heal up a little bit, but I needed a couple of curses to be able to live that hit a lot better. So unfortunately, I'm going to do my last Shadow Sneak, and Regidrago is going to be able to feint the Muck, but I still thought that was a very, very good battle there. Also, their last Pokemon could not have come in there. It was a Gengar, so obviously I would have destroyed that. So they were pretty lucky there having a good counter at the end, but that did very well. A lot of activations, and all those meme sets worked very, very well against Sweatright. Next Pokemon battle, this one is against the Prince of Science here, Prince Vegeta, and we have a Arbok lead. Now, as I said before, ground-type Pokemon are very good against this team, but poison-type Pokemon were just as bad, right? Because I couldn't even poison them. So I'm like, man, I don't know what I can do against this Arbok. There's bugger all I can really do. So I've got to swap out the Sneasel. I've got a quality 1 damage there with Fake Out. And the Arbok is going to go for a stockpile here. I'm not really sure if this is a team or anything like that, but if you can figure it out, let me know in the comment section of the video. Now, I think I covered all the Poison Touch Pokemon here, like virtually all of them. There might have been one I missed out because it wasn't in the game, but, I thought it was a pretty good time to do it. We haven't done an ability one for a little bit. So I'm going to go for Dragon Claw there. Sorry, Dragon Tail, reminiscing about the last battle. And we got the Chandelure coming in here. If only that last Regidrago was it was a Dragon Energy set. I would have won that. So we've got the Arbok coming back in. I've got Liquidation here. Liquidation doesn't do a lot of damage. I was hoping for a defensive drop, which I got, which is kind of nice. Now, I was kind of curious what Arbok would be able to do to me, unless it had like Earthquake or something. But it seems it's only got a poison move, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, I'm paralyzed here, so I can't attack every single turn. This Arbok also has the Black Sludge, so it's recovering some of the damage that I am doing it. So, looks like Gunk Shot's like, let's say, a 5 to 6 hit KO here. I'm going for a Liquidation there. Things are getting very juicy right now on the other side of the field. So here comes another gunk shot on my Draugi. That's like, what, 2 or 3 more? And now since I'm able to get another attack, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be able to feint this thing, which is good, because Poison-type Pokemon were very, very scary with this team. Here comes another gunk shot, as long as it doesn't crit me, which it didn't, and I can finish off with the final liquidation. I was pretty lucky there. I didn't get paralyzed many times, and I also got that defensive drop too, so that definitely helped out a lot. Draugi was a Terra Water too, if you were interested. So here comes Poliwrath. It's going to go for a belly jump. Thank goodness I went for Dragon Tail, because that would have got nasty real quick. Poliwrath is going to eat its Citrus Berry too. So what's that say? Strong Frog? Wait, Strong Frog. Oh, I get it now. I get it. So here comes the Dragon Tail. Doesn't miss. It's very good. And that's the end of the Frog. It's going to come back in later. Next Pokemon is Gliska. I'm like, oh, it's equally, no, it's worse than Arbok. So here comes Mud Slap. Man, I can't take these Mud Slaps anymore, people. I'm going to go for Liquidation. It does all right against Gliska. Gliska's got some, very, very good natural bulk about it. Plus, it's got Toxic Orb and the Poison Hill. So here comes another Mud Slap. Mud Slap number 2 here. I can go for Liquidation or Dragon Tail. I just kept going for Liquidation. It's the best possible damage I could do against it. And some more Poison Heal for the Gliska. So now Gliska is going to feint my Draugi with a Mud Slap. And I know they were laughing when that happened. So the assault level is starting to rise here. All right, got to get rid of this Gliska. Like right now, I need something to happen here. So all I can really do here is go into my muck. Now, funny story, I was like, I'll go into my muck, but then I went into the wrong muck. So I guess you could say I mucked it up. So I went to muck Lola here. Now, this was my Terra Ghost set. So this is actually a very, very cool meme set. So what I did is I go for Shadow Sneak, and then I try and get the poison. And then once I've got the poison going with Poison Touch, I'd go for a Curse, and then I'd go for Hex, right? So it's a really, really cool set. And I also had Minimize and Bright Powder too. So maybe I could get the Shadow Sneak up and then go, get the poison and then go for Hex, Pretty cool set there. Very, very difficult to set up because you needed a lot of things to go your way. At this stage, I was like, well, I have to get Curse up against this Gliska because I don't know. I just felt like if I kept going for Minimize, it might have got those Mud Slaps up there. And, or it may not even be able to do anything. So I thought I had to get the Curse up straight away. Also, I got hit by Sand Tomb too, which is a problem. So I'm going to go for Shadow Sneak there. It's going to miss. And Gliscor is going to finish me off on 1 health with the Toxic. Like, you're never going to see this in your life again, people. The salt levels they're through the roof now. My Muckalola fainted to a poison on 1 health. Like, you're never going to see that again in your life. So, first it's Mud Slap, now it's Toxic. So I'm like, man, I gotta do something. I gotta fight these trolls, man. So I'm gonna get some damage there on the Gliska. So I'm gonna go into Toxicroak, right? I've created a monster with my viewer audience. They always use these troll moves against you. So I'm gonna go for the Fake Out there. It does quality. Actually, when you think about it, Poison Heal. I think Poison Heal healed back 3 times the amount that I did. Anyway, some more Curse damage. That's what I was going for. It did a little bit more after the poison. Then I followed it up with a Venom Shock. I knew that wouldn't fade, and here comes another Mud Slap. So now I've lost my Focus Sash, and I've got 1 accuracy drop too. So I can go for another Venom Shock. I'm hoping that it lands. I was like, well, after this Curse, it should take it out the next set, even if I miss, right? So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for Astonish. I've got to pay back that Mud Slap and Toxic. It lands and Gliska faints. So I was very happy about that. It's not too often you're going to see a Gliska faint to an Astonish, right? Only on Pit-Life Shadow. Next Pokemon to come out is going to be Chandelure. It's going to go for a Trick Room. Now, this is very, very bad. I do have a couple of moves to hit this with, but I definitely my Toxicroak is cooked, Speaking of which, it's going to be Flamethrower, and that is the end of Toxicroak. I couldn't swap anything into that, and I didn't really want to swap any of my other Pokemon either. This thing's got some high special attack. So going to the really, really tanky, bulky special defensive buck, I've gone for a Shadow Sneak, and I didn't get it, which really, really sucks. Here comes the Energy Ball. I think they may have been expecting like a Terror there. Then they followed up with a Shadow Ball, and that actually didn't do all that much. I think they were trying to drop my special defense there, or they expected the Terror. So I went for Cursey. I had really no hope, unless I boosted my attack now. So Chandelure's defenses aren't the greatest in the world, so I thought, let's try a +1. And it did very, very good damage. And unfortunately, I didn't get the Toxic, but I was like, that's still good, though. I can get that. So I'm able to withstand a couple of Shadow Balls here. Muck takes up so much of the screen, right? It's like half the screen. You can't even see Gangster Greymark. Oh, wait, she's over the other side of the field. So here comes another Shadow Sneak. It almost took it out, and I got my Poison Touch, which is very, very good. I was happy about that. So now Chandelier is going to go for its final Shadow Ball here, and Muck's going to take that one. So I reckon I was definitely done the next turn, which was good. So that's the end of Chandelier. I finally took out another Pokemon. So that's 3 Pokemon down. Now we got the Strong Frog back, or the Strong Frog. And it's going to go for a liquidation here. Muck lives it. I was like, man, Mucky was so bulky. Here comes a Drain Punch right in the squiggly bit. And I'm going to get some good quality health back here. I was hoping to get a activation, a Poison Touch activation, but it never happened. You think with Muck it'd be a higher chance, you know? Anyway, I was trying not to use any of those moves that are Poison Jab. So Poison Fang, Poison Tail. I deliberately didn't use any of them. Here comes a Terra Normal. Shadow Sneak didn't work against it, and that Pound, I was like, oh, come on, another troll move. So that's the end of my Muck there. I died to a Terra Normal Pound, and also got around my Shadow Sneak too, so I was like, come on, what's going on here? So I'm going to go into my Fire. I've got Low Sweep. I was like, I'm going to go for that, and that's the end of our Poliwrath. I don't want to lose to Pound again, you know, once was enough, right? I can only take so much trolling. So there's 2 more Pokemon left. There's going to be a Victory Bell. I get that nickname, that's, for meeting James in the anime, and it actually avoided my attack and used knockoff, so it got rid of my loaded dice. So like, you know what, I'm going to return the flavor. So we're going to go for a copycat there. I did a little spin, and I got rid of that Scope Lens. So it was a Scope Lens Razor Leaf set, so like a critting set. I'm able to leave that one, and I got some good damage off there with Venoshock. So that's the best I could have done in that matchup anyway. If I landed my attacking move at the start, I would have fainted that, but you know, Fury Swipes, its accuracy is kind of like very, very shaky. So last Pokemon is the Mighty Special Sneasler, a thumping 40 base special attack, and Fake Out and Venoshock combination there is enough to take out Victory Bell. Now there's one more Pokemon left, and this Pokemon is super, super thick. So I've got Focus Mist ready to go. What's that called? I like them big. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to keep this video PG, people. I Like 'em Big has unleashed a mighty Hyper Beam, and that is the end of Sneasler. That was a very big, long beam of light. Thank you for the battle, Prince Vegeta. It's always fun, man. And, man, you got me good with all those troll moves. Let's get on to the third and final battle here, people. This is a battle against Peepsalot, and we got the mighty Ducklet lead. So it's been a while since I've seen a Ducklet in these parts. So I'm going to be going for a Fake Out there, hoping to get a double up there and on the Poison, but it never happened. But I got a Poison Touch on Grass Knot, because Grass Knot actually makes contact, which is really, really cool. Here comes a Hurricane, and I'm actually very, very lucky that missed, because that would have definitely fated my Sneasler. Now the Ducklet is actually poisoned. I can go for the double base power Venoshock and take it out. This thing was actually very fun with the Poison Touch and Venoshock. It was really, really cool. So next Pokemon we got is Bloom, and it's going to drop my attack. Not that Fake Out really did much anyway. So I'm going to go for the Grass Knot there. I can't poison this Pokemon. I'm going to pop that Air Balloon, though. It's going to go boom! So it's a self-destruct, I nearly called it Quillfish. I'm running Quillava minus the flame and the spikes and all that sort of stuff. So that's the end of Sneasler. So next Pokemon is Grafire here. I'm hoping I can maybe get some Fury Swipes action happening here. And the next Pokemon is going to be Hariyama. I'm like, oh no, do not activate it. So I'm going for a Fury Swipe. So I'm going for damage. I'm hoping it doesn't activate. And of course it activates. Like, this thing's... You know this thing's going to have guts, right? You're like, I know it, and you know it, right? So I'm going for Fury Swipes. Yeah, I got about a quarter of its health away, so that was pretty good. And here comes a Force Palm. Yeah, I'm not going to live that one. I got forced out of this matchup. So that's the end of Grafire. 2 Pokemon are down already. A very, very sad time. So I'm going to go into Toxicroak. I can go for a Fake Out. And then I really have to go for Venoshock, because this thing is thick. So we got that Hariyama taking some Fake Out and poison damage. Thank goodness I got that. I mean, the poison was good there, but it was bad. So it was good, but it was bad. So that's the end of Hariyama anyway. Next Pokemon here is going to be Taurus. Now, this is where things escalated, that's for sure. So I'm going to do a swap and go into Dialga. I thought I might be able to get some you know, maybe get a poison here. Here comes Stomping Tantrum, and Stomping Tantrum is going to activate my Rocky Helmet too. That was my item. And here comes the Outrage. I was like, oh, that sucks, because I could have lived another Stomping Tantrum. So I got a little bit of Rocky Helmet damage there, and Draggy's going to faint. So absolutely nothing to... This is scary, right? Because my entire team is weak to this. So going into Toxicroak, I'm going to see if I can clap them bull cheeks and get that poison, then up it up with a Venoshock. It didn't happen, so I'm for a Desperation Astonish here. Didn't happen. No flinch, no poison. Here comes Stomping Tantrum. I'm going to be living on 1 health here. I was like, I have to go for Venoshock now. I can't risk another Astonish. So I'm going to go for Venoshock. It was pretty good damage. And now the Taurus is going to eat like a berry and get its health back. So that sucks. Now it's going to go for a Stomping Tantrum again. Obviously, Toxicroak is going to faint there. If only I had a poison and then I had the double base power and Venoshock, I would have fainted it, right? Next spot, I've got 2 Mucks left. Muck 1 and Muck 2. So we got another Stomping Tantrum. Of course we do. Here it comes. It's going to do a lot of damage. So I went for a Scumbag Minimize in hopes that I could get these Minimizes up and then try and get my strategy. So I went for a Shadow Seek, hoping for a Desperation Poison. Never happened. Stomping Tantrum is going to fate me. So it's bad, people. It's very, very bad. Of course, we all know that crit matter too. So I've got normal Muck left. Something has to give here. So I've got my Muck. I thought, well, I either go for a Shadow Seek or I go for a Terror here. At least with Terror, I can resist the power of the Stomping Tantrum. So I'm going to go for that Terror Muck. A weird thing about Muck as well when it terrors, like, even when, like, I'm not even talking about the Ghost Terror, just a normal Muck Terror, you can see through it. I can see Gangster Grandma and the other kids, like, so you see, look, you can see through it. So I'm going to go for the Curse here. I'm upping my defense and my attack. I'd like to get another one up, but I don't know here. Like, I'm worried about a crit because I'm down to my last Pokemon too. So I went for the Shadow Seek, hoping it faints. I was like, oh, it didn't faint. Please get the poison, and it didn't, but the Taurus is going to go for a Wild Charge. And the Wild Charge, actually, the recoil damage took it out, which is good. Man, I haven't really got very lucky in this battle with poison, except the Hariyama, of course, and the Duckling. Let's be real, Hariyama didn't really count. So the next Pokemon to come out is going to be more. Oh, it's Clodsire. This is a disaster. So Clodsire, I'm like, what is this going to tear it into? If this is I think this is some sort of theme team too. If you can guess it, put it below in the comment section. So we got a Terra Rock Clodsire. So, oh, okay. Well, I wonder what this is going to be. So I went for Curse. It couldn't hurt to try and boost my attack a little bit. Like, Clodsire is a very tanky Pokemon as it is. I'm boosting up my attack, increasing my defense. Now, the Clodsire's got to go for a Stockpile. I'm like, oh, no, not Stockpile. That's going to make it so bulky, yeah? At least I can poison it, though. There was that. Here comes a Stockpile Ancient Power. Oh, hell no. It's going to go for that. It's going to try and boost its stats, like all of them. So I'll do like 1 damage. So I'm going to be going for a Drain Punch here. Did pretty good, like very good damage because it was super effective here. We got that going here. So now the Clodsire, we've got a Muck on the field here, and now we've got a Pokemon using Swallow. Oh my goodness. So now the Swallow is going to increase its health back there, but that is not going to be enough damage to be able to live the Drain Punch here. Plus the drops from Stockpile get, it's like when you use Spit Up, but the drops still happen when you use Swallow as well. Pretty interesting sort of move, Spit Up and Swallow. We need some more of those moves. Anyway, that is the end of Clodsire. Last Pokemon is Hoppo the Hippo. It's got that sand, and I was like, I should be good here. Then he used Fissure. I'm like, oh no, this is bad. So I started spamming the A button. I'm spamming that Drain Punch button. So I'm like, hopefully this doesn't end. I don't want to lose to a small Hippo. Not after that, Terra Normal Pound, Mud Slap, all that other stuff. So I'm going for Drain Punch. I need 2 more Drain Punches here. Things looking pretty good if it doesn't land. So it's going to go for Slack Off this time. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can deal with this Hippo. So I'm going to go for a Drain Punch again, hoping I can get that Poison Touch. It's been so many turns. I'm punching it, I'm punching it. I got some more recovery, and it finally activates. I'm like, yes, I've got the Hippo now. I've got it exactly where I want it. And then it lands the Fissure on my Muck. You wouldn't read about it. That is the end of the battle, people. Man, this is a salty, these have been some salty battles today. I hope you enjoyed this Poison Touch ability team. I'm definitely not salty or anything. Peace out, people.